This is the most terrifying story I've ever heard. A young boy who was around 4 years old kept pointing at the wall in his room and saying, "Hands," as if there were hands all over the wall. At first, his parents thought it was just a phase he was going through, like how kids will randomly start putting their hands up like they're praying or something. But as the months went by, they started getting higher and higher up the wall. And they'd yell at the kid whenever he started pointing at the wall, but he wouldn't stop. You'd see a faint outline of the kid with his hands pressed up against the wall like he was trying to get out. But when they'd grab him and turn him around, he'd be asleep in his bed with no clothes on. And it wasn't like the kid had some weird obsession with touching things. It's like just the idea of being able to feel the texture of the wall. So they ended up knocking the wall down to make it easier for whatever was in there to get out. That's right. They literally knocked a hole in the wall and the kid never touched it again. And knowing exactly where it ends and where the floor begins, it's too much for me. He never did this with any other wall in the house. It was just this one. It's like sometimes they'd be up here, and it wasn't just little baby hands either. Sometimes the handprints would stretch all the way up the wall like this. But then they started noticing faint handprints on the wall. They were greasy and child-sized. And the weird thing was they were always higher up than they were before. At first they were at about this height, maybe from when the kid was crawling around as a baby. The parents tried everything to stop it. They'd paint over the handprints only to wake up the next morning to new ones. They could hear the scraping of his little baby feet on the wall as he climbed higher and higher, always towards the same spot. And the scariest part was that sometimes when the parents would come into his room at night to check on him, one day the parents had had enough. They took the kid to a priest to see if maybe it was some kind of demon or something. But the priest just laughed and said it was probably just the neighbor kid sneaking into his room at night and leaving handprints on the wall. But here's the thing, the parents knew that was untrue because sometimes when they'd go into the kid's room at night, they'd see the handprints being made in real time. I don't know what it is with walls, but something about them really freaks me out. Anyway, the parents couldn't take it anymore. So yeah, maybe it was just the neighbor kid after all. Thanks for watching.